Welcome to Stuck Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff, and I want startup businesses to be wildly successful. Today, we're going to be talking about marketing with Ronnie Bartles, a business strategist. Welcome, Ronnie.
Hey,
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
This is good. So, marketing, and you have a unique tool for marketing, correct?
I do. I have a marketing calculator that I use. And so kind of what it does, I have a philosophy that marketing is really just a math problem. It's kind of a science versus a creative. So if, we can get a few pieces of data out of your analytics, we can plug them into my calculator and we can kind of see where the holes are in your marketing and where your conversion needs to be improved so that you can meet your goals. I mean, it's just as simple as that. It's a math problem.
And for startups in particular, if you're not in revenue, you're in sales.
Exactly.
You're not doing your business, you're doing sales until you actually get into revenue.
Yeah.
So tell us a little more about how your calculator works.
Kind of where we start with it, you kind of start with your goal first and work backwards. So digital marketing is unique in the marketing field. For years, we kind of had traditional marketing with print and radio and, all of those kinds of things, direct mail. And then the internet comes along and now we have this whole new world of digital marketing to kind of meet people where they're at. Well, the great thing about digital marketing is you can track it. All of those traditional marketing strategies for years, they were hard to track. They're very soft. You could, but it was much harder. Digital marketing's not that way. Like we can track everything. And so with digital marketing, you can just work the formula backwards from what you want your goal to be. So, I tell everybody wants a $10,000 month, right? Everybody wants to make $10,000 a month. So when you plug that in and you plug in how many visitors you have on your website, how many conversions you actually make, how many sales come from your website, it gives you your conversion rate. So average conversion rate somewhere between 2 and 3%. So you can kind of know then how many orders you have to have, how many units you have to sell. If you adjust your price point, how does that make a difference? And then you can kind of then even work it back further to look at your ads. If you're doing any paid advertising, you can say, okay, well, what's my click-through rate on the ad? What's the conversion rate there? So you can kind of then see how much you need to spend on your marketing to meet that revenue goal. So you're really just working the numbers backwards based on metrics and your conversion rate. And I actually use it. I use it in two ways. One, I use it to kind of figure out what should a marketing budget be for somebody. And then I also, more often than not, use it as like a detector of where we need to make improvements. So if you're plugging in all of these numbers, your conversion rate tells you what you need to work on. So I have this happen a lot of times with Facebook ads. I get clients that want to run a Facebook ad and they'll come to me and they'll go, the Facebook ad's not working. And I'm like, let's wait a second. Let's look at these numbers. And when we plug in the numbers, the Facebook ad might be converting at 5%, which is great. Average is 2 to 3, but their website is only converting at 0.1%. That's not an ad problem. That's a website problem. Yes. So I use that calculator to kind of pinpoint those things, to kind of consult my clients on where they should work on their marketing, because we can make improvements in that anywhere.
And where do people find the analytics that give them those numbers?
So on your website, you would do it in your backend platform. If you're on WordPress, most likely you're using Google Analytics. You use your little code to get your Google Analytics. It's the most robust out there. I recommend it for any website, really, because you can put it on any platform. I tend to use Squarespace a lot with my clients, and so it has an analytics in its back end as well. And you can easily pull your traffic numbers and your sales from the back end of your analytics. It's easy to find.
That's good. So can you tell us a story about one of these tweaks that you figured out how to do?
That was a good example too. I had a client. He is actually an author and a speaker. And we ran Facebook ads for his latest book launch. And, we kind of worked things backwards. We, did the creative. We did all of those things, which, marketing is creative. While I think it's a science, it is a creative too. Like there's a nice balance between those things. We had all of that together, and he really did. He called me, after the launch, probably a week later, and he's like, these Facebook ads aren't working. I haven't sold a thing. And I was like, well, one, the Facebook ads goal isn't to sell. the Facebook ads goal is to drive traffic, as well as then let's look at the numbers. And so I asked him, I don't do anything with his site. I said, I need you to go pull these numbers from your website. So he did. And we sat down and we plugged it into the calculator. And I was like, our ads are converting at, I think it was like 3.8%. So we're about average, slightly above. The ad's doing its job, but your website's not converting. So, we now need to go look at a copywriter to try and make that website convert better, or like something needs to change on the site. Sometimes it's as easy as changing the color of a button. It just can be. Most of the time it's copy, and you need to really work with a good copywriter that specializes in conversion to really help those things. So that's what we did. We ended up going and working on the site to try and make the page convert better. And then he had more sales. We were driving traffic perfectly fine, but the traffic was going nowhere.
That's an important point. So
Yeah.
it's a multi-layered system.
Exactly.
That you need to pay attention to all the different aspects of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or hire someone to do that for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I'm also a big believer that while hiring people is great, you should at least know the basics of how it functions and what it's doing so that you can manage your vendors better. Like It's so easy to be like, just somebody take care of it. Which is great, but then you never know if they're doing the right thing or not. So at least know enough that you can manage your vendors well.
You need to know enough so you know what questions to ask and to be able to tell if someone is giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
I took a class in how to tune a car.
Oh,
not because I was interested in auto mechanics, but because I didn't want mechanics taking advantage of me.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea, actually. I might take that one up.
Well, thank you so much, Ronii Bartles. You're a business strategist. We'll put Ronii's contact information and a link to the marketing calculator in the comments. This is Mary Scott with Business Riff. I want startups to be wildly successful, and the first step would be to book a strategy call with me at businessriff.com. Join us again next time for Stuck, Time to Improv.